What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today I'm actually partnering up with Starrily to show you their Planets Collection Galaxy Edition swatches. Now this might sound familiar, you may recall that the original Planets Collection actually came out in 2020, which I did review, and then they came out with this Galaxy Edition in 2021, which is all the same colors, but we do have a slightly different holo pigment in there that's a little bit smaller, and it has just been re-released, and I would argue that this is their most popular collection. So I really wanted to share the Galaxy Edition with you because I've actually never shared these swatches before. Before we get into it, if you haven't heard of Starrily before, they are an independent nail polish brand that is based in the US, and all of their polishes are 10 free, meaning they are free of 10 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They're vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So if you've actually never heard of the Planets Collection before, it's actually a collection of 8 magnetic polishes, each one inspired by a different planet in our solar system. It comes in a really beautiful box set, and since the original release, they've actually also had additional polishes to go with this collection. So they eventually did release a Pluto polish, which was highly requested, and then they also released an additional holographic topper called Stars for putting on top if you want some extra holo sparkle. So I actually have the original box set from 2021 of the Galaxy Edition, so now's actually a great time to talk about magnetic polishes. A lot of you ask me about how long magnetic polishes last before the magnetic pigment doesn't work anymore, and as far as I'm aware, they do last indefinitely. The polishes that I have from 2021 still work perfectly. One thing to note about the original collection is that it did actually feature the wide flat brushes with a straight tip, but now the polishes have a wide flat brush that has a rounded tip, so application is even easier. So yeah, what I'm going to do for you is swatch all of the polishes in the Galaxy Edition. I'm also going to swatch Pluto for you as well as the Stars, and I am going to use the special edition cat eye magnet that comes with the original set, but I'm also going to show you the polishes in the horseshoe magnet style. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to swatch the polishes in order of the planets, but then for the comparison chart at the end, I'll do it in order of color just so you can see similar colors side by side. So yeah, let's get into swatches first, then we can talk a little bit more about pricing, availability, my thoughts, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today I'm using the Guardian base coat from Starrily. And like I said, we're gonna go in planet order here, but don't worry, I'm gonna have a little comparison at the end so you can see any similar colors next to each other. But first up in our solar system, we have Mercury. So this one is a really beautiful black base. We've got a silvery metallic color going throughout that does magnetize, which you'll see in a second. And then we also have these teeny tiny red flecks, and they're a little subtle without the magnetization, but especially in the cat eye style, you will see them just come alive on the nail. So what I'm doing for all of these swatches is 2 coats for opacity and then a 3rd coat to magnetize. And you can see this one instantly just becomes a galaxy manicure. You get all of those scattered holo sparkles, you get the red flecks in there, and then you get this beautiful nebulous sort of look with that silver magnetic sparkle. And I'm also going to show you all swatches with the horseshoe magnet in the velvet style, which I actually don't think I did velvet style when I first reviewed the original collection, so this was a really cool little addition to see with these polishes because I'm not sure if I've even magnetized them all this way, but it just creates so much dimension and depth, and it looks exactly like space to me. Next up, we have Venus, and this one is a duochrome orange to red, again with that magnetic pigment running throughout, and the magnetic pigment here is actually that orange to red iridescent kind of color in there. And then we have a beautiful deep red background, and of course we have the little holo sparkle running throughout as well. Now this one, gorgeous on its own, unmagnetized. I feel like this is just a beautiful autumnal color by itself, and I will say I have worn this one a decent amount without magnetization on the days that I felt lazy, but it also looks super gorgeous with the magnet. In the cat eye style, it definitely gives a fiery lit from within sort of look, and you can see all of that gorgeous sparkle in there, and you can see all of the different shades of that orange and red and deep burgundy kind of color coming through. And if you really want your nails to look like they're on fire, this one in the velvet style with the horseshoe magnet is absolutely stunning. I never even thought to try it like this, and I think it looks so beautiful because you get so much holographic sparkle, and then you get that duochrome coloring. So at certain angles, your nails look a little bit more red, at certain they look a little bit more orange, and it just gives a really beautiful marbled sort of effect. And then we have the shade Earth, and I'll be honest, this one historically has been my favorite polish of the collection. It's so hard to decide because they're honestly all so gorgeous, but I think that this one still holds my heart after all these years. It's just such a beautiful duochromy blue shade. There's actually a few blues in the collection, but they're all super different. This one kind of has a duochrome blue to turquoise kind of shade in a really deep background. Again, we have that holographic sparkle in there, so it creates a very cosmic sort of vibe, especially in the cat eye style. You can see that navy blue background. It looks like it's full of stars, and then you can see that almost purpley blue shifting into a turquoise blue. And then in the velvet style, once again, absolutely stunning. It really looks like 3 different polishes. Like, depending on the angle you're holding your nail at, it can look like a totally different color. At some angles, it looks almost black. At some angles, it looks like this beautiful turquoise color. And at some angles, it looks like a very cool toned, almost purpley blue. So really beautiful, really versatile, and definitely super fun to kind of move my hands around and be mesmerized by. Next up, we have the shade Mars, and this one is actually a deceptively subtle polish. It's actually a red on red, so we have this deep red jelly base, and then we have red magnetic pigment running throughout, as well as the holographic sparkle, of course. And this one, again, just so beautiful. Honestly, all of these are so beautiful unmagnetized. I do wear them unmagnetized a lot, but they really blow me away once they are magnetized because they definitely are the epitome of space-themed polishes. Like, they're just perfect for that. But the red on red looks really beautiful. In the cat eye style, you can see that deeper color underneath, and then it just kind of glows with that lighter red magnetic pigment, and then you get all of that holo pigment almost turned reddish with that jelly base, so it ends up just looking red on red on red, and it's really beautiful. And then again, in the velvet style, talk about a lit from within glow. This one becomes such an intense red color once you magnetize it like this, because we just get that super deep vampy kind of red shade when you're looking at it head on, but then when the light hits it, it literally looks like it's on fire. So gorgeous. Next up, we have the shade Jupiter, and this one is a burnt orange gold kind of shade. I always say that this one reminds me of Tiger's Eye because it looks just like that stone, and this is another really stunning one. It has a little bit more of a foil feel, this one and one other in the collection, which you'll see in a minute, and it's actually this beautiful kind of deeper orangey brown base, and then we have a magnetic shimmer that's actually golden in there. So once I use the magnet on it, it pulls all of that gold towards the center and leaves behind a deeper brownish orange, as well as all of that holo sparkle, and it really does look like Tiger's Eye to me. But especially so in the velvet style, it does have that super cool 3-dimensional beaded sort of effect, and it's so bright. I never realized how intense that yellow is until I saw it in this style, but moving my nail around, it's such an intensely yellow magnetic that it almost has like white burst to it, if that makes sense. Up next, we have Saturn, which is an absolutely stunning fuchsia purple kind of shade. So this is another one that looks a little deceptively simple, but there's actually a lot going on within it. We actually have this super deep, almost black base, and then we have a very intense duochrome magnetic shimmer that shifts between a fuchsia sort of pink into a purple, and it's another one that just absolutely blows me away. You know I love purple nail polish, but I especially love the cosmic sort of polishes that leave behind a very dark background when you magnetize them, because with the stars like this in the holographic particles, it does look nebulous and just like space. And then again, with the velvet style, it definitely gives off the look of having multiple different colors on your nails depending on the angle, because again, you get that almost black color when you're looking at it head on, but then at certain angles it looks like a cooler toned purple, and at certain angles it looks like more of a fuchsia color. So it's just really intense, really fun, and I love that mix of like pinky purple vibes. Up next, we have Uranus, and this one is the other metallic foil sort of vibe that I was talking about, similar to Jupiter, but this time we have it in a blue formula. So it looks pretty much like a blue metallic foil with a little bit of like a white shimmer running throughout. That's the magnetic pigment, and then we actually have a jelly as the base there. So once I magnetize it, you can see all of that white color kind of pulls towards the center. It leaves behind this super juicy blue background. You can see a little subtle hollow sparkle in there. And again, it looks very cosmic, but also on the lighter side, which I think is a really nice change. And then once again, with the horseshoe magnet, this one in the velvet style has such an intensity to it. And I think that whenever you velvetize a magnetic polish that has white magnetic pigment, it's always going to look super, super intense, because when the light hits it, it's like this beautiful blinding white color. And I just think that's so beautiful. And then we have the shade Neptune. This is another deep blue shade, but it's actually pretty different from Earth, which again, you'll see in the comparisons. This one is actually more of a dark blue into purple duochrome shimmer, and that's the magnetic portion of the polish. Again, we have that almost blackened sort of base color going on. We have the hollow sparkle. So once you magnetize that final coat, it's going to leave behind a very cosmic sort of look where everything just looks like deep space with the black and the little stars. But then you also have a nebula that kind of shifts from blue into a very cool toned purple. So super gorgeous this way, a classic kind of shade. And then in the horseshoe style, it just gives that really intense look again. Sometimes it looks a little bit more blue, sometimes it looks a little bit more purple. When there's no light hitting it, it just looks like this deep, almost black color with the holographic stars peeking through, and it just looks so beautiful and ethereal to me. And then we have the shade Pluto. Now, like I said, this was not a part of the original Planets collection, but if you're a millennial especially, you probably highly requested that they add a Pluto polish, because we all know Pluto is the best, even if some people don't think it's a planet. But this one was an add-on after the release, and it's this gorgeous, intense green that has the same formulas as the others. So we've got this sort of duochrome shimmer in there. That's the magnetic pigment. We've got the holographic subtle sparkle in there. And then when you magnetize it, you're left behind with this really intense deep forest green. And then the magnetic shimmer kind of shifts from an almost yellowish color into the classic green sort of shade. Super gorgeous. And once more in the velvet style, you could see that this one just gives a really beautiful, intense look. I feel like in addition to just being a gorgeous polish, this is such a perfect color to wear for the holidays, magnetized or not magnetized, because it's just such a crisp evergreen kind of shade, and I really love it. And then we have the other add-on. This was added on when the Galaxy edition was released. This is a topper called Stars, and it is a scattered hollow topper. Now, it doesn't look like much when it's on the nail by itself, but let me tell you, it makes such a huge difference, especially when it comes to these polishes, which are so beautiful once you put the Stars topper on them. Now, I do recommend using the topper and then magnetizing your manicure. So if you're doing it with the horseshoe magnet, still keep your nail on the horseshoe magnet while you're applying the topper. If you're doing it in the cat eye style, I would recommend applying a coat and then holding your magnet over it again. But I wanted to show you a little side by side of each of the colors with the stars and without the stars, just so you could see the difference. And of course, this topper isn't just for these polishes. You can literally wear it over any color, and it gives a really fun, sparkly holographic effect. But I do love that they released it with this, because depending on the intensity of your manicure, you can decide to make it a subtle hollow sparkle, which is what the original polishes have, or if you want to add just gorgeous sparkling stars on your manicure, you can do that with the Stars topper. And I think it really does make such a difference. It's so beautiful. It definitely adds an additional layer of like that cosmic vibe, especially when it comes to the deeper shades, because at certain angles where you can't see the intense magnetic color, they sometimes look just like an almost black, and having that extra hollow sparkle just adds to the cosmic effect of the manicure. It looks absolutely stunning. But yeah, here's a quick comparison of what the polishes look like, so you can see side by side how these similar colors compare to each other. So even though we have a couple of shades that I would consider to be red, they're very different. We have a few different types of blue, but again, they're all different enough to justify owning all of them. I love this whole collection. I honestly think it is perfection. All of the colors are so beautiful. I know I keep saying cosmic, but that is really what this collection evokes for me, which is definitely intentional. And I just love the additions that they threw in there. I think having the Pluto polish just really rounds out the collection and makes it complete. I love that it's a green because that is what we were kind of missing in the original set, and I love that Stars topper. I use it on other things as well, and I think it's just the perfect extra little sparkle to add on to any manicure when I want just a little bit more. So yeah, let's talk a little bit more about these, my thoughts on them, and then we can get into prices and all that good stuff. So yeah, those are the polishes, and as you can see, I truly love these. I loved the set when it first came out. I was so excited about these polishes, and they absolutely blew me away. I feel like Starrily was really ahead of the game with these colors, and I still think that they are just as beautiful as they were the first day I got them. Truly, I just have so much love for this collection. I think it's really fun. I remember when it first came out, a lot of people actually thought it was a collaboration with me because I love space so much. But yeah, let's talk about pricing and availability. The polishes are available now on the Starrily website. So the box set of Planets collection comes with the 8 15-milliliter bottles, as well as the special edition Galaxy magnetic wand, and that retails for $128 USD, or you can buy the polishes individually for $16 USD each, and that does also include Pluto, which is not available in the box set. And then we also have the Stars holographic topper, which is $13 USD per bottle. And I do also have a discount code. You can use the code KELLI to get 10% off your order on the Starrily website. I'll link everything down below. But yeah, I'm curious to hear what you think. What do you think of this collection? Do you remember it from back in the day? Did you have it then? Are you planning on getting it now? Which color is your favorite? Leave it all in the comments. We can chat about it. And if you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. I love you all, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Obviously, we have to do a galaxy themed question for today. I'm not gonna even be able to answer this one, but the question is, would you rather discover a new galaxy or discover a new form of life? And the answer is either. I would be overwhelmed. Anytime something cool and space related that happens in our lifetime, I get so overwhelmed. Like, I cry. Whenever I learn about like new stuff happening in the cosmos, I just love it. I don't know. I guess if I had to choose one, I would probably say galaxy, just because that's probably a little cooler to look at like pictures of. Discovering a new life form in space would be also really cool and also very overwhelming. So yeah, if you want to answer that, let me know in the comments. We can chat about it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.